Every leap in American history has needed breakthrough energy.
Ignition, liftoff.
Now, AI is here, and Chevron is working to power it. We're aiming to develop multi-gigawatt power plants near data centers, designed with future pathways to lower carbon intensity. AI gets the power it needs, communities get the jobs, and the grid stays strong. Powering AI today builds America's next superpower.
Welcome to our podcast, It's About Payroll. We're your hosts, Brian Escobar and Walter William Duncan III. Whether you're new to the payroll game or a seasoned veteran, we have something for you. Welcome back, folks. Happy holidays.
Happy holidays.
Yeah, man. How's it been, man? I'm so excited to be back.
Yes, man.
We
I'm excited.
We took a much needed break, folks. Sorry for the hiatus. It was only 2 weeks, but in podcast world, that's a lot, right? Especially for the fans out there.
Mhm.
We are incredibly humbled and incredibly excited just to keep giving you something that you like, you know, that it's relevant. That's really it, right? Like the point of our show is to be helpful and relevant.
Absolutely.
Right? So how's your break been, man? How was this 2 weeks for you?
Oh, man, it was great. I got to connect with my family and just eat some good food and relax and just detach from work.
Yeah.
Sometimes the year end can be a little crazy in the payroll world.
Yep.
It was good just to get that downtime and just like detach from stuff, man. So it was great. How about yours?
It was good. What I learned was that it's not stressing me out, but it's not our 9 to 5 that occupies my mental space. What I realized was my mental is really being taken up by our own project. This doing our podcast, building our app, and like continuing that process. That is what's really stressing me. And stress is a bad word, but occupying and taking my mental space up. And that's what I realized in these 2 weeks. And like when I didn't have that to think about, that I was like, oh wow, I'm a little bit relieved. And we still thought about it, but we didn't like really push. So I think it was just the eye opener. Oh wow, yeah, I am really stressing out about our own endeavor. No pun intended. And that's about it, man. But it also gave me like this refresh. Oh my God, I can't wait to record again. There's so much I want to talk about. So much happened in the payroll world in those. It felt like it anyway in those 2 weeks, right? So Elon Musk bought Twitter in the last, I don't know, month or two, whatever, however many months he finally happened, and he's been making changes and la la la. And then one of the biggest news stories from this was that their payroll department all resigned on the same day, like in unison.
Yep.
And that sent the payroll world into a frenzy.
Yes.
Because there's so many conversations to have from this one thing.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. One event like can cause you to think, oh my God, what would happen if this happened at our place of business, at our employer? What would happen? And it just goes to show that they relied so much on this team, and it shows a couple of different things, right? It shows one, how crucial it like having a payroll team is to the company, so that the company can also be prepared a little bit more just in case this does happen. Because, you know, we live in a time where people don't agree with other people on certain viewpoints, and which is okay. But if this was to happen, like what happened at Twitter, what could a company do to prepare against that?
Yep. And it segues us perfectly for our next season. Today's show, folks, we're wrapping up season 3 finally. Before we get back to the Twitter thing, we actually recorded the last show already, but we had tech issues and we weren't happy with the quality, so we didn't put it out. So we're gonna re-record that now. We're gonna wrap up season 3, and then we're gonna give you a little not trailer, but snippets or sneak peek into what season 4 is gonna be about. Season 4, we're coming at payroll from the employer perspective.
Yes.
From the business owner, from the leaders that need to make the decisions on what has to happen with payroll. And it was such a perfect segue for this Twitter situation.
Yeah.
What that's called in the payroll world is business continuity.
Yes.
And your payroll department, so payroll professionals, business owners, if you have not already created a business continuity plan for your entire organization, start working on that. But if you don't have it for payroll, then you need to work on that as well. And means is just this. What do you do in the event your whole department gets up and walks out? And Twitter just made it realistic, because before that, you're like, oh, that would never happen. Not everybody from the department is going to leave in unison. That would never happen. Yeah, look at that. We just got it. We just got proof that it could happen.
Yep.
And what did Twitter do now? And I had posted online to a conversation like, I wonder who swooped in after that and was like, we can help. Right?
Yeah, I wonder. Yeah, what did you get any information on that?
Nah, I didn't see any responses. I don't know. I got to check back on the post to see if there are any responses.
This is William Tincup, and I'd like to talk to you a little bit about Indeed FutureWorks. Ryan and I attended the conference last year, and we created a limited series for Indeed where we talked to their customers. Great stories around TA and how they use Indeed to the max. So check it out. It's just Indeed FutureWorks 2024. You could search for it wherever you get your podcasts. Thanks.
Because immediately, shoot, if I was in the consulting or freelance, where I would be calling them I'd be at their door like, hey, I'm a payroll person. I'm ready to clean up for you.
Yeah,
that's an opportunity. See, that's my crazy mind. I see chaos. I see opportunity. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I see opportunity in chaos. So who swooped in? What do they do? But who knows, right? We'll find that out as the story unfolds. But business continuity is really right. It's planning in advance what would happen if you do that. So we're going to cover that in season 4. We're going to dedicate a show to it and give you folks some tips on how to build a business continuity plan for your payroll department.
Yeah. And like for Twitter, it wasn't just their payroll department. As I was reading a little bit more, their U.S. tax team and their financial reporting team also resigned as well.
That's
at the same time.
Nuts.
So everything got a little
like the whole.
Yep.
If payroll was under finance, it's like the whole finance department resigned.
Almost, yeah, pretty much.
Wow, yo, that's crazy.
They were impacted so much by this one thing happening. And so, yeah, we'll get into that later.
Yeah, man, we'll get back into that later because that's a whole nother show. It's a deep topic, but just it's so exciting to see how payroll is becoming big news and that it was such a big part of a bigger story. That's the good part about it. And again, what a great way to set up talking about season 4 and how we'll that. And again, that episode will be business continuity, is just how companies can plan to, in the event that happens, what would you do? Yeah. So can't wait to get to that. But folks, we got a lot to cover in this final episode of this season 3. We just want to wrap up what your pay stubs all add up to. And I gave it away. It's your W-2, right? Yep. So at the end of the year, all your pay stubs add up to all these boxes. It adds up into, and the W-2 has many boxes, and there's a step-by-step guide out there on the IRS website. A lot of other places have guides, but please, if you're a payroll professional, default to the IRS guide. If you're not a payroll professional, feel free to consume the other lists. And what we're going to tell you as a consumer, again, be a savvy consumer and concentrate. You really have to zero in on the first 6 boxes. Yes. Those first 6 boxes tell you how much you made based on taxable wages. We're factoring in your pre-tax deductions. And it tells you how much you made based on those taxable wages, and it tells you how much was withheld for federal, Social Security, and Medicare. Okay, those are the big 6 numbers right there in your W-2. Other boxes, we recommend that you research if they're populated for you. Go look at those box by box breakdowns and understand what should be on your W-2 so that when you get it, you can say, okay, this looks good.
Yeah, everything ticks and ties. You want to make sure everything ticks and ties as much as possible. And if you have questions, reach out to your payroll department. Again, they should refer you to the IRS website. They can answer some things about your W-2. A lot of things they can answer, but when it goes to the explanation of the boxes, you want to go to the IRS.gov, as Brian was saying.
Yeah.
Some of the other things that you want to review on your W-2, you want to check your PPI, which is your social, your name, like all that stuff can impact you when you go try to file, right? So you want to make sure that it's correct, because your tax person will let you know, hey, your social's off by a digit or your social's wrong on here, and they won't allow you to. They shouldn't allow you
To file. Good word.
with
Shouldn't.
that.
Exactly.
Shouldn't allow you to file with that. So that's something that you want to check. And so if there is something wrong with your W-2, you find something wrong, this is when you would reach out to your team and or whoever your tax person is at your job. If you
Yep.
if it's separated.
Could be human resources. Yeah, it could be something else. Yep.
Yeah, so they would have to create what's called a W-2C, which is basically C stands for correction, right? And so if your social's wrong, they will send. And the only thing with the W-2 that's wrong is your social. That's all they would have to really impact. But the other information is correct. They would just send you an updated form, and then they would have to send out those forms to the Social Security admin and all the different agencies to get them an update for your information. Yep. And you can take a copy of that W-2C to your tax preparer and say, hey, my employer gave me this. They corrected it, so you can move forward with filing my taxes.
Correct. Yeah.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Thank you for that. Thank you for that. I really like what you said here. Becoming a savvy consumer means you have started the process of obtaining information about how your pay looks and works.
Yeah.
That's I love that. Thank you. So, folks, Walter defined what it means to be a savvy consumer. We've been saying that the whole series. Be a savvy consumer. Be a savvy consumer. What does that mean? What am I consuming? I'm not buying. This is my pay stub. I'm so confused. Yep. Because to us, to a payroll professional, you are the consumer.
Yes.
You are our customer. We provide a product to you. You folks, you don't see it that way, but a good payroll professional does. They see it as we're providing a product to you. So you got anybody that gets a pay stub is a consumer of a payroll product.
Yes.
So that's what we mean. And what Walter's saying is to be a savvy consumer when it comes to your pay stub, it means starting the process of obtaining information about how your pay looks and works. I love it. So that's what we mean, folks. That's it. So some of the things, if you have a question about it, start with your payroll department. They may not always be the ones to like Walter just said, they may have to say, hey, you need to go check out this website or that, look at these keywords, research this and that, here's the definition. So payroll will definitely get you in the right direction if they can't answer it for you. Yeah. Try to do some research before you even reach out to the payroll department, so that again, you're showing your savviness and you're an informed consumer and you're asking a better question. Yep. Make sure your W-4s are updated. That's the document, right, that dictates how much comes out of your paycheck every paycheck. Yes. So make sure you're on top of that. That is your responsibility, okay? You guys can't get mad if things are outdated and they send it to the wrong address and this is not right and that's not right. That's on you guys. That's on you. Be the savvy consumer and stay on top of your information. Yes. We own our own info. Our companies are just trying to help us execute something. Yeah, absolutely. Right? It's on you. And my recommendation is always go digital, go green. If you need to feel like you're doing something good, be green, go green. It's a sustainable solution. Get your direct deposit. Getting the direct deposit is really ties into business continuity, because what if something happens and you can't get to your location and to get that live check? You don't have to worry about it. It's going right into an account. Yep. Okay, so think about that. Really, direct deposit should lead with that. In the event that you physically cannot get your paycheck, what do you do? Yep. That's what direct deposit is good for. Okay, holiday seasons, disaster, things happen. Yeah. So keep that in mind, folks. And then, of course, regardless of how you consume your pay stub, keep it secure. Yes, keep all your info secure. Yes, sir. Great points on those, man. Yeah. That's, I think, what I have to wrap for the W-2. What else we got there? Well, that might be. I just wanted to touch on the W-2 part. Okay. I work for a couple of different organizations that they not that they forced. They didn't try to force people to update their info at the end of the year, but they sent out communications that offered suggestions. Hey, you need to go and review your W-4 data at the start of the new year. Yep.
And they said they would tell them like, hey, if you don't update it, it's gonna roll over as what it was, and your taxes are gonna be impacted and stuff like that. And sometimes the tax brackets change, right? That's all information that a savvy consumer could go research. Like one of the key points that you put in here with these talking points on being a savvy consumer is doing the research.
Yes.
That doing the research yourself and finding out information yourself can go a long way in helping you. You should still connect with your payroll to give you some guidance on stuff, but do the research. Do the research yourself, and it will help you go a long way.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. That's it, man. You guys gotta just, and I think that was a big push in this.
This episode is brought to you by LinkedIn. Healthcare professionals can lead their careers with LinkedIn. Discover jobs by specialty, preferred shifts, and even desired salary. From mental health therapists to radiology technicians, it's now faster and easier for healthcare professionals to find the right fit. Learn more at linkedin.com/healthcare. Side effects may include faster job placement, improved work-life balance, and increased career satisfaction.
Be curious about your pay stub. Like, how, folks, this is our livelihood. How many examples do you need to hear from us? And this person went a year and they didn't realize $1,000 that they shouldn't have. And not that you lose. Look, if you never find the error, you could lose that money.
Oh, absolutely.
You know?
How many people in the past, before we had all this technology, if you think about it, before we had all these systems and stuff, how many people were underpaid, man? How many people just have funds that are just sitting out there that they don't even realize that it's owed to them?
Yep. Exactly right. And to that point, how we covered that lost money on the on state websites. You can go get money, but check this out. This is not the same thing. If you're not paying attention to your pay stub and you don't see that there's an error there, there's no money to be claimed. The error came and went, and you lost.
Yeah.
You lost. You know what I mean? So if you're not looking at your stuff, and I promise you, folks, from real life experience, people lose money. Now, again, if it's discovered, then you can get it refunded, because if you find a legit error, then they have to fix it. If you can prove that it's a legitimate error, then it has to be fixed, and that's a W-2C. If you find it if you don't find it until your W-2, hey, you need to be patient and let your payroll department turn that around for you, and it does take time. Okay. Yes, April 15th is the cutoff, but you can extend it to October 15th if you need it. So I get it, you need your money, but if your W-2 has an error that you're addressing, then you need to be patient, give your professionals a chance to turn that around for you. But again, if you don't find it, there's money gone. And there's plenty of times where employees find these errors. We as payroll professionals, we validate it, and we're like, oh yeah, wow. Yeah, it's true. Again, the easiest one that sticks up in my head is this employee a long time ago. He was in one state, but paying taxes to another state. It's up to you, folks. Again, we're just stressing, be savvy, be conscious, be aware of what's going on in your paycheck. We always compare it to like those, right now, the streamifications, like all these streamings that you may have. You don't realize that you got a $5.99 streamer there and a $49.99 stream there and this, that. Next thing you know, right, you $1,000 deep at the end of the year on streaming. It's the same thing, right? There's spillage, there's leakage, there's errors, there's things that happen on a paycheck. If you're not paying attention, that $5 every paycheck adds up. That $20 every paycheck adds up. And when you see it at the end, you're going to be like, oh my God, I want that money. So
absolutely.
And that's on you, folks. I tell my customers for many years now, yes, although we are responsible for producing the accurate product, some of the onus of validation is on you.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, especially if your employer uses a service called employee self-service.
Absolutely.
Definitely, you have to be sure that the info that you enter, whether it's direct deposit, tax info, PPI information that you're responsible for entering, like you want to make sure that all that's correct, like Brian's saying.
Yeah,
it's pivotal. Honestly,
yep.
I honestly don't like using pivotal in every word, but in every declaration. But it's pivotal in this case for you to do those things.
I don't think I've ever heard you use the word, so you're good.
Okay. Yeah, I try not to use it. That's what I'm saying.
Okay. So, folks, I think that's it. You got anything else for them before we wrap it up?
No. I think we're just gonna
Awesome.
talk about season 4, like the preview of season 4. We have a few episodes. We may add to it later.
Oh yeah,
Um,
it's always a living document for us
yeah,
because we literally take what's happening in the world and we apply it to the shows, right?
yeah.
Because again, we want to be helpful and relevant.
Yep, absolutely.
Um,
So I just wanted to talk in
yeah,
no
go ahead,
particular
take
order.
us through. Yeah,
The order may change, but
go for
these
it.
are some of the things we're going to talk about. So one of the episodes is going to be what payroll means to an organization or an employer, and we're going to talk about business continuity in that episode as well. So we want to, as an employer, you want to find out what that means to your organization,
Yep,
because the payroll for organization A across the street from you can completely be totally different than the
absolutely,
payroll needs that you have for your organization. So you want to
absolutely.
find out what that means for you as an employer.
Yep,
The next one we're going to talk about is your employer taxes. There's a portion of taxes that we are responsible for as an employer, as
employer.
a
Yep,
business owner. So Social Security, Medicare, there's a portion we have to match that
yep.
for each employee. And we're going to discuss like the different setup, how to set those up and everything like that. Doing your payroll team.
That's a
I'm
good
going
one.
to talk to you about that, because you need the right payroll professionals.
Yep,
You need the right professionals,
and
rather.
they're around the right amount of payroll professionals because
Absolutely.
for a
Absolutely.
lot of employers don't realize how many payroll people you need to
Yes.
support your organization. And if
Absolutely.
you're a company that's growing, guess
Hmm.
what? Your payroll is going to have to grow with it.
Absolutely.
And that's and
Absolutely.
there is a number out there. There's numbers that thank God payroll industry has come together and said, all right,
Yes.
these are our general numbers. For every X amount of employees, you need X amount of payroll people. So we'll
Yep.
cover those things in that show. That's a good one.
Yep. And then there's another one that's an honest opinion, honest question you need to ask yourself. If you're what to do if your payroll process is failing.
Word.
So there are some situations where like it's just not working for you. The
Yep.
payroll, the way you structured it, or your needs have changed. Because
Yeah.
like as you
Yeah.
grow as a business,
Yeah.
your needs may change, right?
Absolutely.
So you need to, your process has to change with it.
Yeah. Like we always say, what got you here may not be what's going to get you to the next step.
They may not keep you here.
There you go. Love it. Thank you. Yep.
And then we're going to talk about just a little bit about it, the 2020 tax deferral that
Ooh,
happened
the
for
pandemic
COVID.
tax
Yes.
deferral. Yeah, that's a big
Yeah.
one.
So
That's
I
a big
think
one.
that's an interesting
It
topic to
is.
discuss.
It
And then
is.
another thing that you need to consider that impacts payroll, impacts your employees, is your exception payments, which is
Right.
your bonuses, your commissions, and stuff like that. We're gonna offer some suggestions on that, when or if you need to gross up for
Yep.
certain situations or whatever, what that looks like. So we're gonna talk about that stuff.
Yeah, and again, folks, just it's a living list for us. It may
Hmm.
change, it may add. If you've heard this episode and you got some suggestions, please go ahead and
Yes.
DM us on LinkedIn and let us know. We do have some guests lined up. Ooh, we're gonna talk about, and hopefully we tee up Fran,
Yes.
one of our payroll colleagues in the world there that we've connected to through this show. I got to speak to her about bankruptcy. So when a company goes through bankruptcy, what happens?
Finding a great career has always been a challenge. But today, with the massive changes underway in just about every sector of the economy, in just about every country in the world, finding a great new career is even more challenging. And if you're a student, recent graduate, or someone else early in their career, it's even harder for you because you just don't have the experience that those who might be 10, 20, 30 years older than you have. The answer? The podcast, From Dorms to Desks, a podcast by College Recruiter Job Search Site, where every week we take a deep dive into a topic specifically of interest to candidates who are early in their careers and looking for a great part-time, seasonal, internship, or other entry-level job.
To the payroll department.
Absolutely.
How does that business continuity plan? So
Okay.
she's going to talk to us about how that looks and how she's in that challenge, and we're looking forward to that. So that'll be another show here. And there's some other payroll professionals out there that have unique experiences that we want to talk
Yeah.
about. So we may have a few guests there. Yeah, folks, we'll just give you another exciting season 4. And again,
Yes.
it's coming from the employer perspective. This
Yeah.
season 3 was from the employee perspective on how they consume their pay stub.
Yeah.
And season 4 is we're gonna flip the script and give you the
Yep.
other side of the coin
Yep.
and how the employer needs to do these things. And maybe one of the shows could be like the challenges of keeping employees like updating their information and just having them and understand that this is on you. It's not on us. Please update your info. So things like that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, man. That's it. So we're super excited. I think you could hear it in our voice. We're re-energized. We're re-motivated and refocused for the new year. We have an amazing year ahead of us. We've grown so much in such a short time. And it's really, we're just so thankful to you all for listening and for being devoted to the show. Gosh, man, please reach out if there's anything that we can do to further the experience to help you guys grow. Because again, we want to be helpful, we want to be relevant, and let us know. Tapped into the community on LinkedIn. Between Walter and I, we probably have every payroll professional in the country on our LinkedIn already. You know what I mean? And that's really been the drive for the show, is that payroll people need content. So we posted, what was the number? We posted like 85% more content in our space than any other content provider for our space. Not in all of podcasts. No, come on. But in payroll space, we are dominating on providing content for you guys. Okay.
Absolutely.
And we are not going to stop.
We can't stop, because this is the time where can't stop, won't stop. This is the opportunity for us to inform and help other people, help other payroll professionals, help employees, consumers, help businesses. This is the reason why we did this in the first place. This is what we keep going back to, that we just wanted to help people. Yeah,
for real. For real. And not to mention, it was an amazing opportunity to provide content, because if you hear our story, at one point we were like so upset that there was no content, and then all of a sudden it became the absolute driving power behind this, that we get to fill it. There's no content, let's fill it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? So we're just, oh man, so excited. We posted our wrapped up on LinkedIn. If you're curious to see what those numbers are in our show since we've in inception, go ahead and check it out. There are amazing numbers for what we've done in this space in a short time as novice folks to the podcasting world, but we are veterans in the payroll industry and the HR space. So we're going to continue to deliver that product to you guys. We love you. Thank you so much. We're so excited. We'll see you next week with another show. And have a great holiday season. And we'll talk about some holiday stuff and year-end stuff in the next few weeks as well.
Yep, absolutely. All right. Awesome, thank you, guys.
Thank you, partner.
All right. Later. Thank you for listening to today's episode of our podcast. We appreciate you. We're grateful for you. And we hope that the information that we'll share with you will impact you as a payroll professional. Until next time, keep learning, keep growing, and most importantly, keep going.